You guys, is that gonna distort if my mic is peaking?
Yes.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I need to.
Hey, can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think my microphone, if I hold it close, like I was when I was recording my commercial, I think it ducks out. It sounds kind of weird, probably like this, because it gets some room noise. But I think if you make it mono,
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Okay.
Check, mic, check. Super hot mic, super hot. Check. Stand back all the way here. Check, check. All right.
Should I do an intro or something?
Yeah.
Check, mic, check. Suck my dick, Ryan. Yeah.
It sounds good on my end.
Check. Yeah, it's through a different speaker though. Okay, I'll just try not to deep throat this mic and hope everything's cool.
Okay. That'll be good.
Yeah.
You're not using Edison, right?
No, I'm not. That was my first mistake. God damn it.
Okay.
No, I'm on Audacity.
Maybe try a different experimental software this time.
Seriously.
Is it time for the advertisements yet?
It is.
Hello, this is Caleb Golston, recording an advertisement for a company I trust quite well, Colonial Penn Insurance.
That's too fucking good, dude.
Caleb, you should do voiceovers.
You've got a pretty good voice for it, man.
Let's see. Seems like it's cutting out. Well, gee, thanks for having us, guys.
Our pleasure.
Yes, glad to be on again.
So, we have Caleb K, who goes by CK Beats, and we got Caleb Golston. It's kind of we've already had both of these guys on, and something interesting happened where they met through us and they started collaborating, which I thought was pretty cool. Do you guys, what's that experience been like?
Well,
It's been interesting.
yeah, it's definitely been interesting. Let's see. Caleb, you want to go first? Talk on that a little bit.
When I started talking to Caleb K through Messenger and all that sort of stuff, and I would say that his style is a little bit different than the style that I normally make, but I kind of like to make some more different type of stuff as well. And so sometimes when I would come up with a different type of idea that maybe wasn't as mainstream, I thought he was a good person to go to maybe get an idea on it. And then eventually, like what he thought about it and all that. And eventually I sent over a song and then we just started working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, yeah, that first track, we just like, those first two tracks, we just blasted through them, didn't we?
Yeah. I have so many going on right now. I can't even remember the first one, which hasn't been put out yet, but what was that even called? Distance Unknown.
Yeah, that's right.
Distance Unknown. Yeah.
It's got
Yeah.
yeah, that's a really interesting track. I'd say that's probably my favorite one that we've worked on so far. It's got a
Yeah.
what would you call it? A deep house drop and kind of like a ambient build. Yeah.
I can't even remember it right now, but I remember the name.
Says a lot.
Yeah.
I'm glad it was so
I
memorable.
remember the cover. Yeah. No, it is. It's just. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I do. I do remember the cover actually, though.
Yeah.
No, I do. I would know it if I heard it. I just am confused right now with all the different songs I have going on.
How many different?
And then we had
how many projects are you working on, like with collaborations right now?
probably like 15.
Holy shit!
Whoa. Damn, dude.
But I just put one up. One is finally up with a guy named Eric Lead, who you should also have on the podcast.
Yeah.
Who I will send the information.
Oh, and for our viewers, just so everyone knows, this is actually the first time Caleb and Caleb have been on a Skype call together. So this is the first time I've met Caleb in, well, not in person, but, you know, in voice.
Yeah.
So
It's so weird.
Yeah.
yeah.
We should have done it before, but it's, I don't know, sometimes it's more effort to be on the call.
Yeah.
So it sounds like kind of the way it works is that like Caleb G will send Caleb K the outline of a song, and then Caleb K, you will do the sound design usually, or are you like composing as well, or?
Sometimes.
Yeah, he has a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like on our first track that we made, The Distance Unknown, it was, well, most of them are like a minute and a half wave files. So it's got a build and then like one measure of a drop. Okay. So yeah, on The Distance Unknown, I kept the build pretty much. The MIDI was all the same on that, and then on the drop, I just kind of deviated and took the same idea but wrote different MIDI for it. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's we both write stuff for the track. Like on Job Perks, I remember we needed a break, and I didn't have any ideas. I couldn't come up with a good break idea, and then you wrote this epic orchestral sort of feeling break, and we put that in there, and that sounds really nice.
So Caleb G,
yes.
So you make a lot of like MIDI tracks and stuff when you collaborate, right? And then send it to other people and they do the sound design for it. Is that correct?
Yeah. I usually send both. I send a MIDI and I also send the WAV files. And I'm always surprised because people always want to use the WAV files that I send, or not always, but a lot of the time. And I always kind of wish that they would just use the MIDI and I send the WAV more as a reference, because I don't put a lot of thought into. I mean, this isn't really the way you're supposed to produce, but I kind of just grab presets and use them as placeholders.
What? That's
so
not
that I can write. And a lot of times it'll just be whatever I grabbed, and then I'm sending it over. And I would kind of prefer, maybe that they would just use the MIDI instead. But obviously they can do, whatever they think sounds good. But a few times...
like when you're just composing for yourself rather than for a collaboration, do you still do the same thing? Like you make a track with it in mind that you're gonna get rid of like the sounds that you're using and just stick with the MIDI and send it to someone else, or do you still try to complete tracks like on your own?
I do some on my own. I think the main reason I think that the quality expected for productions to actually get signed and such is so high that I don't feel like I'm there. And so the way I view it, it's not just going to accidentally, like I'm not going to accidentally finish up a track on my own that's going to be good enough, is the way I view it. So I already can predict the fact that I need to work with someone else on the sound design and such.
That's kind of something that you had mentioned the first time that you were on, is that you think of yourself more as like a songwriter than a producer.
Yeah.
Like, I think people just want to be caught up with stuff. Like, they don't want to feel like they're the ones, behind on something compared to everyone else. So I think for that reason, people will be more interested in listening to your more recent stuff rather than, starting from the beginning and working their way forward, because then they'll feel like they're missing out on what everyone else is doing.
But I think maybe when they once they've caught up, this is what part of it is. You've caught up, you're waiting for the next episode. Well, wait a minute, there's all these episodes back here I can go listen to. And I do this with a podcast. It's pretty obscure. It's about astronomy, and it's just a guy who does it. It's nothing fancy. And I've probably listened to almost all of them because every night I listen to it. It's like my little thing and so I run out of new episodes. He went like a year without putting stuff, so I listened to the old ones. So, but I agree though. There's some people there's a lot of people that would never go back.
If he released one episode every night, would you listen to one every night, or would you, like, starting from like his most recent stuff that he keeps putting out, or would you go all the way back to the start?
No, I would listen to the nightly one, and I probably would miss some episodes. And I know some things that are like nightly, and I've got, I would never be able to, overwhelming, never listen to anything but the most recent one for the most part. Yeah, so I see what you're saying.
But the point is that, like, the people that would go back and listen to stuff from the beginning, they're already on board with your content anyhow, so it's not like it's going to make a bad impression. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's
Man,
a good point.
honestly,
That's
I don't even care if someone goes back to look at my music. I've left all my shit music up on YouTube and SoundCloud. And part of the reason is I want... Oh, yeah, even MySpace. I want to leave a digital trail. Yeah, freaking MySpace. Yeah. Like, with my
Those
alternative rock
songs.
stuff.
Caleb, can I be in your top 5?
Honestly, I want to leave that trail. I want to show the progression of where I started and where I am today. I like the idea of...
We interrupt this broadcast to say that we are experiencing technical difficulties. Stand by and we'll return to normal programming as soon as possible.
Thanks for listening, guys.
We'll see you next time. Peace out, man.